Good morning, Rabbit folks. On this March 1st, it's apparently a cold day here in Pennsylvania. And matter of fact, it's 29 degrees outside. Beautiful, beautiful day. Very sunny outside too, but a little bit of a breeze, man. A little bit of a breeze. I thought I would up the tarot stuff for you guys here at the start of this year because I'm going to get more into this in a minute here, but we're going to do a first of the month reading as we've done the last couple based on the polls from my grand poll on January 1st, meaning I'll have pulled a card, 12 cards like you guys saw. That's the guide for the month, and then owl or whatever else I choose to read with to view all that through the same lens. I was very intentional at the start of this year, actually. My wife and I were talking about this, and let me kill my air filter. I'm down here in the lounge, as you guys can see. All right. So I was very intentional about the things I chose this year. I'm actually I'm going to restock my wine cellar, right? Like there's, I don't know, 50 bottles in there or something like that right now. I want to have like 300 or 400 at one point, but I want to be very careful in what I pick up. This is today's choice, by the way, in case you guys are curious. It's a Lower Valley White. And you're thinking, Sasha, it's white, it's cold outside. Well, I've been drinking a shit ton of reds lately, and I just want something different. So anyway, I'm doing that. We're also in the middle or the beginning, I guess, of Mercury retrograde, so I wanted to give a little more guidance, because maybe you guys took off with Thursday's hits or hints, and it helped you out a lot, right? Maybe we want to continue that trend. So we're going to do that here with the cards help and everything else, plus coffee, actually, because it's the way of the world. As you guys know, I journal a lot of things, so the journal here is here in the tarot thing. And our card of the month is a rather auspicious card. It is the Ace of Cups, here from our Darkwood Tarot deck. This card itself has a lot of symbology in the simplicity of the image, right? We have our messenger, a raven, I believe it actually is. It might be a crow. I know there's a difference. Don't at me. Is he putting a coin into the cup? Is he taking it out? What's going on here, right? Like, you know, there's a gift of energy mutation, if you want, or transformation, if you want, at the start of things, because whatever's going on in the energy of this card, it's probably flowing downward into the river of emotion. But it could be that the river of emotions starts anew and gave him the coin. We don't know yet. I will have more thoughts on that. But being intentional required us to look a little deeper. Most people are not in touch with an animal side the way I am. And that's why I figured that was a good deck to pull from for the year, right? Now, we have our owls here. I always use my owls, or I'm using my owls right now. I just sponsored a Kickstarter too, by the way, so there'll be another deck in here, provided they get that funded. They got it funded in like 3 hours. Slavic deck coming, but we'll talk about that later. I want to get to this real quick because I've got a shit ton of honeydew stuff, plus I've got a chapter to write, and I need to get back into that whole Mudvayne first album headspace and not be in like existential or in transmigrational ideas, rather. That doesn't help dark romance. I do believe our owls are ready. They're percolating, they're perching, they're breaking. I may have to get a second deck because I'm kind of rough on my cards. Anyway, folks, here we go. We'll should just do this. Interesting. So I'll give you this card in a second. I wasn't kidding. It's kind of like 50 down here. So it's a funny thing, actually, that I chose the ace with the bird, right? This is the one we're going to see this lens through. And this is just for today's reading until however long, perhaps next Thursday or this coming Thursday. Our owl is the Five of Pentacles. You notice a couple different things about this card to begin with. The first of which is the wounded owl. That's the most important thing to think about from an emotional standpoint. There might have been an emotional wound that was brought up. I know for me working on this novel, there kind of is things I'm revisiting through a grown man's lens, and I'll explain later if it's relevant. But the second thing to notice is that the pentacles are missing. The owl can't see them. She can't see that her mate's actually protecting her too, but all she's got to do is look the fuck up. And there are gifts. And those gifts might spring from this bird here, because you see the pentacle symbology in them. It's actually quite fortuitous, and I would say auspicious, these two cards being pulled today, because one suggests a loss, suggests you're out in the cold, except for doing the one thing that this may require you to do. Reach out. Because this other bird, they're not alone. He's right here. So when you guys are looking into your world and you're seeing that loss and you're seeing that grief, whatever it might be, or that hardship, it might not even be emotional, because the pentacles aren't an emotional deck, or emotional suit, rather. That's the cups. Look into your emotion. Dig into your emotion. They're new. Let them breathe. And so shall you breathe too. Have a great day, guys.